Well, this is definitely not the weather you expect in Spain, and it's been like this for the last 2 weeks. Everywhere I seem to go, it's either raining, overcast or chilly and strong winds. So I think it's probably the most miserable winter I can remember in Spain for many a year. Well, this really is quite weird. I've never experienced anything like this. I'm in Spain, not too far from Malaga, and it's almost as if, you know, the wind is bringing all the sand in from the Sahara, but we've almost got a sandstorm here in Spain, and there's obviously rain in the air, so it's just as if it's raining mud. Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know whether you can really pick it up on the camera, but I know you can see the spots on the windscreen forming, but just how dark it is. It's almost as if it's almost dusk. Just incredible. You can see the front of the camper and just how badly it's mudding up in the rain. Just incredible. Okay, so I set off making my way slowly back up through Spain, and I found this fantastic little wild camping spot completely on my own. It's very quiet. You can probably see if I hold the camera up slightly that it's still very, very overcast and grey, but at least it's dry. We have had a little bit of sunshine this morning, which has been good, because for literally for the last 2 weeks, if not 3, practically every day we've had rain, strong winds, and it's been not very nice at all. In fact, it's the worst I can ever remember Spain being at this time of the year. But there we go. But at least it's dry today, which is good. So as I said, I found this super place to stop. May even stay here a couple of nights actually. Depends. It looks like it might rain again, having just sort of talked about the weather. But if it doesn't and it stays dry, then I'll probably stay another night. The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant, if it rains quite heavily, it's a bit of a rough track to get down here, and it was a little bit muddy on the way in, so if it rains really heavily it could get a little bit washed out for going back, but we'll see. It's a beautiful spot for a wild camp, and obviously popular with the fishermen. Fishermen were here really early this morning. Having said that, the clocks did change. We sprung forward 1 hour, so. So it's a beautiful morning this morning. The second beautiful morning I've had in the last 2 or 3 weeks because of the weather, but it's absolutely superb this morning. Lovely sunshine, fairly clear sky, and I've got a great park up. Well, you can see behind me, but there's the camper. But yeah, it's just absolutely superb. Obviously today, as I said, is a nice day. It's Monday. Yesterday it was really busy here. There are lots of local fishermen coming out, and they were catching some big fish. I was quite surprised actually, because it's not a huge reservoir. I mean, it's reasonably sized, but it's not huge. But some of the fish they were taking out were quite large yesterday, but very popular with the local fishermen. And you can understand why. There's lots of places you can park around the reservoir, relax, people coming with picnics and all sorts of things. It was really quite nice. So after a lovely sunny day yesterday and a good rest, I'm back today to the overcast and damp conditions. So I'm just making my way slowly across country. So after a nice, easy, relaxing drive across country, I looked online for somewhere to park up for the night. I found myself a spot that was quite unusual. So I stopped at this point last night. It's actually an old railway station, and the old railway line itself has been turned into a walking and cycle trail, which is just across there. I'll show you in a moment. So as you can see, the trail leads off into the distance under that bridge, and there's the old station buildings. But if I come round this way, see the camper there, and you can see the trail going off in the other direction. So this is the Camino Natural de Segura, and goes on for a long way actually. So according to the map and the description that's next to it, this trail was actually made up in 1993, and it runs for 15.3 kilometers. So yeah. So this is one of the station buildings, and you can see this old, I don't know, combine harvester maybe, and straw there. So yesterday I said that there was lots and lots of sheep came through, so it could well be that local farmer is using these buildings or the area to feed his sheep. Typical of all the old abandoned buildings around the world, lots and lots of graffiti. Again, you can see all the graffiti, and inside the building are all the sheep that I saw last night. So yeah, rather strange. So good morning folks. Woke up this morning to a really cold morning, although it's sunny, which is makes a change from this trip anyway. It's been really wet and miserable, but nonetheless this morning's been nice and sunny. But overnight it got down to around about -2. Woke up this morning to it minus in the van, so yeah, pretty cold. Good job I got the diesel heater really, which is nice. But it's nice and sunny. I'm in a place called El Grado, which is not far from Ainsa, and also not far from the Spanish-French border. So I'm hoping to be able to get across into France today. Looking at the weather forecast, it does say that there's going to be a lot of snow today and over the next couple of days, in fact, coming up and crossing the mountains. So I just have to keep my fingers crossed that everything goes okay. And then if I can get up into France, maybe get a little bit more north, it's still not going to be particularly warm, but at least it should be warmer, and I'll have passed then the snow that's coming down from the north. And then I've got now 3 weeks, a little under 3 weeks to get back up towards Calais and the Euro travel train back into the UK. So yeah, enjoyed the trip so far, but I have to say that the weather's been horrendous, so from that point of view it's not been particularly good. But yeah, overall it's away. As I say, today's nice and sunny, so it is what it is and we have to live with it. So it looks like I've arrived at the snow line. I'm about 1,600 metres above sea level at the moment, and about 21, 22 kilometres from the Spanish-French border. So yeah, I'm going to start climbing higher, so I should get into much more snow. I've got to be honest and say there's not as much snow as I was expecting, judging by the weather forecast that I looked at yesterday, but there we go. All good news if it stays like this. I don't know whether you can see, but it's actually just started to snow, so the forecast was right. This morning was lovely and sunny, but it looks like it's becoming overcast, so there's going to be some heavy snowfall as predicted later on. So I'm going to head further north and see if I can miss it. So well, I guess my luck was in, because as I crossed the border and dropped down into France, the sky cleared, sun came out, and yeah, it was really quite pleasant. Quite chilly, but yeah, a lot better than snow and everything else. So yeah, luck was in today. So for my first night in France, I picked another unusual spot. This one's at Portet. It was parked up under the old market place in the centre of the village. Good for a night though, free electric, water, etc. Well, I've certainly picked a nice spot for tonight. Just by chance, came across this little tiny area. There's two other campers here, a French one and a Dutch one, but beautiful. I mean, small area, grassy, right by a river, It's sunny. It's been quite mild today, and it's the first time I've had a barbecue since I left on this particular journey. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Been feeling a bit down the last few weeks, to be honest, because coming back through Spain, the weather's been so bad. Freezing cold at night. At one point, slightly inland, I was -7 one night. Just horrendous. Not what I expect from Spain in this time of the year, and I think probably the worst that I've ever experienced. But you know, there we go. It is what it is. But it's nice to finally get a bit of sunshine. Having said that, tonight it's supposed to be going down to -3, so probably because of clear skies. But with the diesel heater I should be fine, and it's going to be sunny again tomorrow, so I might even stay here for a couple of nights actually. It's free, there's no facilities, but fortunately I topped up with water and everything else this morning. Nice to enjoy a bit of steak for a change. Nothing nicer. Peppered steak with corn on the cob and red peppers. Really good. So after a couple of really relaxing days parked up by the river in the sunshine, it was back to normal. Moving on through France, the rain came down again, and yeah. Anyway, I'm heading up towards the Bordeaux region and see where I end up from there, so that'll be for the next episode.